Okay, so hello everybody. Welcome to I don't know if I want to call them weeks or episodes. I'm not quite sure of going live a Twitch streaming slash gaming podcast where I'll cover things like Twitch news and upcoming releases. And I'm not against covering drama because I think drama's hilarious and stupid things happen on the website. And also we'll be covering things like just like specific topics that I'll have to come up with, or people can ask me, and I will talk about on the stream and stuff like we did a trial run, or me and Sean or Bread or what other name he has on this website. We did a trial run of going live that I think went pretty well, other than Skype being a bitch. A long time ago, a bug just crawled on my microphone. Interesting. We did a trial run of going live a while back, and we talked about like webcams, for instance. Literally, Sean Bread. Well, this is a new account, so we talked about webcams and if we found them necessary or not, and things of that nature. So we'll be talking about things like that on the stream. Why is this bug on my? Get off! What are you doing? I don't even know what kind of bug that is. When we talk about things like that, webcams, if we find them necessary, and I'll be talking about stuff like microphones and other streamer related topics. I feel like there's kind of a market for this out there. I don't think it's really approached very well. There are a few podcasts that do cover streaming, but I don't really see them covering it the way I want to cover it. So I'm kind of filling in the market and doing something that I've been wanting to do for a while. And for now, the show is just me. I have a few different people that I will have on as guests in the future, but for now, the podcast is just me talking about these things with my unqualified opinion. Actually, I've been thinking about that to myself a lot, whether or not I'm qualified for this kind of thing. Like, not like I'm, you need like a certificate or anything like that to be able to do this, but whether or not I like people would ever listen to me, or like why, and if I should explain that. And I mean, I guess I could give some background as to like what I've done. And I mean, it's kind of pointless because people are still gonna be like, you're not partnered on Twitch. You don't have a like this many followers. You don't even have a sub button or all these things. But I still have internet access and an opinion, so we're gonna do it anyway. Um, and I think I have a lot of experience on Twitch as a website. I was brought to Twitch from Sean Bread in the chat. Um, or I'm just gonna reference him as Sean because calling him Sean Bread is fucking stupid. I was brought to, it was actually Justin at the time, from Sean, and because of day 9. So I've been on here for a while. It was the transition period from Justin to Twitch. So it was like at the butt end of Justin, um, where people started going over to Twitch. So it's been a long time. At least I want to say I've been using this website for about 5 years. 5 or 6 years. My account was made in 2010 or 2011. So, so yeah, it's. I've been on this website for a long time, and ask any of my friends or people in the chat might say that I've been like pursuing different things on this website for a while, different ideas. And if you take a look at like my YouTube channel, I'm actually gonna look this up now because I think this kind of proves my point. There's a video on my YouTube channel called "The Evolution of SirSoapyy." We're not gonna watch that whole video, but I just want to go back in time on like my videos. Let's just go to oldest here. So I have videos going back 3 years, but I've been doing this for much longer. They're just deleted because I did start off doing StarCraft stuff. I just don't have any of that because I just have a whole new computer from when I was doing all that, and I just don't have it. So if you see here, like, this is some Daisy stuff. You know what I mean? This wasn't on Twitch, but if you start going around here, 3 years ago there was some Counter Strike, there was some Jamestown, some more Counter Strike stuff, some Daisy stuff, Counter Strike. I was pretty big into Counter Strike. Some Arma 3. I feel like Arma 3 when I was playing Altus Life, and I don't know how many people here are going to remember this. I'm sure a few people do. Altus Life and Arma 3 was, I think, like my like when I figured out how much I really enjoyed streaming. So that's when I kind of figured out I really really enjoyed streaming. It was around that time because that is when I took a whole summer pretty much, and I was able to I did something pretty impressive with it, I think. And then I do what a lot of Twitch streamers do, and this is something that I think also makes me well enough to talk about this stuff, or well experienced enough to talk about this stuff. Is I've done a lot of dumb, made a lot of dumb decisions on Twitch. Not nothing to get me banned, but a lot of like dumb personal decisions where I've wanted to, or like I've wanted to pursue something on Twitch, and then I'll do it for a few months and I give up. And so I've had a lot of failures, I guess is what to say. And I'm not trying to say that I'm some sort of big success now. I'm not that by any means. um, but it is something that kind of puts some scars to on your body, your Twitch body. So yeah, it's just something like that I think I enjoy talking about personally. And I used to do the SirSoapyy rambles videos where I would just talk and talk and talk, and that was like a huge inspiration for this. It's going to be a lot of similar kind of discussion and analysis of topics, but in a podcast form with more planned out topics rather than me just having insomnia and not being able to sleep. So I would just talk into a camera because that was literally the reason why I made the SirSoapyy Rambles videos. It's just because I just had insomnia and I would just think about Twitch stuff. I didn't have insomnia because of Twitch, but that's just what I enjoyed and I still enjoy, and so that's what I talked about, and I still want to talk about it, and so that's why we have this podcast thingy. So yeah, that's a bit of an introduction. Just looking over here, like I don't think I'm missing any information. Yeah, format is like Twitch news. I'm not just gonna be talking about Twitch. If there's some big shit happening on Hitbox or like Beam or something, like I want to talk about those websites and how I think they'll do, but I just haven't done too much research on them. So I'll have to do some more research. I might just have like each episode will be about like one will be about Hitbox, one maybe stream.me, and one maybe about Beam or something like that. So Twitch news, streaming news. Sorry, got a hiccup. Twitch news, streaming news, updates to the site, whether or not I think they're good thing, bad thing, blah blah blah. New games coming out. This is something that I really like analyzing. I think it's super super cool. New games that are coming out on Twitch and how I think they're gonna do on Twitch, their impact and all that. So I really like this topic because I know a lot of people kind of bank their channels off of this stuff. They kind of like look at the game, they're like, this is my big break, and I feel like people kind of largely overestimate or sometimes underestimate games. So that we'll be talking about, like, once again, I'm just doing a recap. We talk about like funny stories, fucking soda poppin does this or that. I think I love those. All right, I'm not afraid to admit I love funny drama bullshit on Twitch. I think it's hilarious. I daily live stream fails. Like every night I go on live stream fail. It's amazing. So we'll be covering that stuff because it's awesome. And like I said, finally we'll be covering like certain topics like webcams, whether or not we need them, etc. Just random topics. So now that we have this introduction out of the way, I don't really know how long this episode is going to be necessarily because I wanted it to be a rather basic introduction. This is almost like a episode 0 in a way, but I don't think I'm going to label it that. Uh, it's almost at episode 0, kind of a beta test to see how long I can go and to see how long I can keep it interesting. And also, it's just not a very heavy news day. So depending on how heavy the news day is, depends on how long the episode would go on for. I think my max episode, like the length, would probably be anywhere between 2 and 3 hours. I think if it's just me though, it'll probably just be like an hour and a half with it for like a standard news day. Um, But if I have someone else with me, that's a lot more back and forth, a lot more conversation. So those could possibly go for 2 to 3 hours. Although I think a good cutoff point would be 2. So I guess we can just kind of go on with the topics that I've selected, and I'm pretty excited about some of these because I have some fiery opinions, some fiery opinions about some of these things. So the first one we're gonna be talking about is, oh boy, Left 4 Dead 2. What? Red Dead Redemption 2. Why did I say Left 4 Dead 2? I don't know. Red Dead Redemption 2 and people being pissed that it's not on PC. Why are you surprised? Why are you surprised that Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't on PC? At least not yet. Why are you surprised? Why are people angry? Why are people starting petitions? Because Rockstar pretty much, I guarantee you, Rockstar like tripled their fucking revenue on GTA 5 because they released the game twice. They released it on Xbox 360 and PS3. Then they released it on PC, and then they released it on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And you know what everyone did? The people who wanted it on PC but they didn't want to wait, they got it on one of the previous consoles. Then they bought it on PC. So that's 2 purchases of the game. Then there's people who didn't want to wait, or no, there's people who didn't want to wait for it to be on the new generation consoles, and they bought it on the old generation consoles, and then they bought it on PlayStation 4 when they had it on PlayStation 3 as well. So they're buying the game 2 times. And then there's also people who I saw this a lot more than I expected, who bought it on all 3 systems. All 3 systems. People bought it on for instance, Xbox 360, PC, and Xbox One. And I'm assuming why people did that is because they wanted to enjoy the new graphics on PC. They wanted to enjoy it on PC with the mods and stuff. And I think when the new Xbox came out and they produced the new game, or they published a new game on the new Xbox One, everybody got it and they wanted to play with their friends. I know a lot of streamers did it too. And people are somehow surprised that this is a thing. How are people surprised? I have no clue how people are surprised that Red Dead Redemption 2 is not on PC. They did it to themselves. Control yourselves, consumer. That's right. How? How could you do that? Like, it's let's just look at this. Like, this isn't even necessarily a bad article about it. This is just one that am I providing as like an example of people talking about it. I don't know why people are surprised. It's going to come to PC. I am willing. Whoever wants to put a wager on it, I am willing to place a $10 bet that this game will come out on PC in like 5 months after release. I guarantee it that it will come out on PC 5 months after release. Because once again, why wouldn't they? And it did so well on. It's still one of the most played games on Steam. Grand Theft Auto 5, still one of the most played. Grand Theft Auto 5 was one of those games that is consistently played for like years after it comes out. Years after it comes out, and especially on PC because of the modding community, and because I feel like just PC players extend the game so much more than then like they just extend the value a lot. Okay, so we have someone in chat saying they'll put a $20 wager that it'll be out after a year. I think it's gonna be like, wasn't GTA like, was GTA a year, or was it like 5 months? I thought it was like 5 months. I hold on. I just realized that chat isn't on this screen, and I don't know the best way of where to put it on this screen, but we'll put it on here. We'll put it on here. I don't know where the best place to put it is, but right there works. So, yeah. I don't know why people are surprised. I really don't know why. It's super, super dumb. People are like, Rockstar, they're a great game company, man, but they have a reputation of doing this. They have a reputation of doing this, and it burned people last time they did this. But like, the consumer is just so the consumer is just so bad about these things that it doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't matter. Oh, so it came out a year later. Okay, then I'll extend that. It'll come out in a year, maybe a year and a half until PC. I for some reason in my head I thought it was like 5-ish months, 5-6 months, but it was like a year. So that and there's no way that it took them that long to put it on PC. I just kind of refuse to believe that. I think that they did that on purpose because they grew that hunger for it on PC. People were begging for it to be on PC, you know? So, I don't know why anyone's. I keep on getting hiccups. I'm sorry. So, we're going on to our next topic that I feel pretty strongly about. And that is Battlefield 1, and I didn't find a really good website to show for this or anything like that. Everyone knows what Battlefield 1 is. All I know is Rockstar is going to make me buy. Yeah, see, that's why they're doing it. That's exactly what I was talking about. Is Rockstar knows a lot of people will buy it twice. The next thing I was talking about is Battlefield 1, and they kind of have like a staggered, that's how I like to word it, like a staggered release of Battlefield 1, where they had the early enlister. It's $80, I believe. The early enlister edition, $80 for Battlefield 1, and you get to play how many days early? Game comes out on Friday. You could start playing on Monday, I believe. So you get to play 4 days early, and I kind of think this is dumb. If they care about a community presence on YouTube, if they care about a community presence on YouTube and Twitch, I think it's dumb. It's out now though, right? No, it's out early. You have to pay $80 to play it right now. So they have an early enlister edition where you get to play it early. And I think this is a really, really, really bad idea. If we go on the Twitch front page, actually, I can do this. If we go on the Twitch front page right now, I think that Battlefield 1 would have done so much better if they didn't do this. Look, Battlefield 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th place on Twitch front page. Because they staggered the release. No one wants to watch. If someone can't afford to get it yet, why would they want like a lot of the story spoiled? Why would they want all of that stuff spoiled for them? And people want a fresh experience with new games. And I think the reason why games, when they're launched and they do so well on the front page of Twitch, is because most people have played it already. They've gotten a feel for the game. They have, they took off the shiny like little plastic film like off of like a piece of technology, right? They took that off. They experienced the game for themselves. Like, okay, now let's watch someone else play it. Of course, there's a person that's going to watch that's never going to buy the game. They're just watching it to watch it. Their favorite streamer's watching it, whatever. But most people took off that little shiny film and they're watching it because they've already experienced it and they want to see someone else experience it. When you do a staggered release, most people aren't going to spend $80. A lot of people did, and that means that they're going to do this again. But most people will not spend $80 to play this game early. So they're not going to watch it either because they don't want that experience spoiled for them, especially the story mode. But I think it's really bad, and they've done this before with other games. And you could see it hurts their front page presence. And I'm sure it'll go back up to a top position on Twitch when the game fully releases. But it kind of gets rid of like that, like the oomph that comes with a really big release. I think that a huge impact for a week is better than like a shitty impact on the front page for 2 weeks. And so and this is what I think Battlefield 1 is actually going to be, and this is a little bit different from Battlefield 1 because it is such a big game. But I did think they kind of hurt their front page presence on Twitch and their presence on YouTube that way. I don't really know the YouTube audience that well, but I do think it would probably affect it the same way. So that's how I feel about that. But how I think Battlefield 1 is going to do on Twitch is pretty similar to how the new Battlefields always do on Twitch. And that is, I think there's going to be some people that make a stream out of the game. There will be a select few people that do make a stream. Battlefield is bigger on Twitch than on YouTube. It might be. I don't know. There will be a select few people that will make a stream out of this game. Like they will build their stream around this game. Unlike Battlefront, which they completely fucked up, and I called it. Watch my YouTube video. Watch my YouTube video. I called it. Battlefront was unable to carry an audience with it because it was just empty. It was an empty vessel of shit. So, but I think Battlefield 1 is much better. It has a lot larger of a community. So, I think that Battlefield 1 will probably do better on Twitch. That will carry more people, and people will be able to build an audience and a community around it. And they've also made they made it a lot easier to be a streamer on Battlefield 1. They made some options where you can just add a bunch of people to your friends list and they can automatically join your squad, and you can kick them and it'll automatically refill with new people. So, it's a lot easier to play with viewers, and it is a much better game, in my opinion, than Battlefront was. And I'm using Battlefront as an example because it's the closest thing to Battlefield that I can think of. It's made by the same people, or produced or published by the same people. So, it's the only thing I got. So that is how I feel about Battlefield 1. I think that they kind of fucked up. I still think that they're going to be a pretty big Twitch presence. I don't think they'll be on like front page worthy after about like 2-3 weeks of the game being out. I think someone like Lyric or maybe Summit will maybe push the game to the top of the page every now and then, but I think they'll consistently be like in the 10 to 20th place range for next month, 3 weeks to a month, and then it'll sit around, like 10th to 20, like around like 15th to like 20th, around there for maybe the rest of the year. So until new games come out and kind of push it down more and more. But I do think that people will kind of make we'll make a YouTube or a Twitch presence out of this game. Shameful Gamer, I bought Battlefield 1 early access. Oh, so you spent $80 on it. Yeah. And I guess I should cover this a little bit more before we move on. 1 second. Also, how's the mic volumes and all that? I think it should be okay, but just want to see your guys' opinion on it. Also, on the topic of early enlister edition and other games doing this, aside from the Twitch presence that I think it hurts, and the YouTube presence that I think it hurts, I think that this is only the beginning of the gaming industry. Sound good. All right, cool. I'm glad I sound good. Apparently, I'm Kyle now. I think this is only the beginning of gaming companies pushing and like seeing how far they can go with getting money out of the user, because they've done this in the past and it's worked. Deus Ex get a ton of shit for this, and the new Dishonored has this as well. So you can buy in and get it a day early, and I think Deus Ex did this as well if you bought a certain edition. And I think it's going to start happening to more and more games, and I think that it's almost in a way just rising the price of games. I don't think it'll be too long. I give it another maybe 5 years before the standard price for a game has gone up. I think it's slowly moving towards that because, companies want to make as much money as they can. And if they know they can easily just get money out of people like that, then they're going to start increasing the price of games more and more and more. So I think that, and maybe I'm kind of calling it. I think in about 5 years, the price of games might go up $10 or $20 for just a standard game. Might just go up $10 or $20 because it's slowly looking like it because of this this progression. And I think it's definitely taking a page out of Steam's book, and they're kind of doing like an early access thing, except people just aren't calling it early access anymore. That used to be the bullshit excuse for it, right? People used to be like, oh, it's early access, buy or give us money early, and you can play it now, but this isn't the full release. Didn't Xbox come out with an early access thing Wasn't that at E3 as well? Hold on, we're about to do some on the spot research. Xbox early access. Yeah, the preview program. That's what it was called. It's basically early access. More expensive than Warhammer Tabletop. Yep. I'm just trying to find something on this that I can show you guys because okay, this Xbox website is atrocious. Get me out of here. Holy shit. Okay, whatever. I don't care. Xbox Early Access is another example of this though, where they basically saw the money that came from early access, and we all know early access is bad. I am one guilty of buying a game that is early access. No, I will admit it. I bought a game early access. We're all, I think, guilty of it, and it's a shame, but that's kind of where it's led the gaming industry, where the companies are wanting to get. It's all about pre-order sales and day one sales. You know, early dedication. It's all about pre-order sales, and it's all about day one sales to companies. Anything after that, the numbers don't. I feel like the numbers don't matter. I really don't think they care about those numbers at all. I mean, they care about them, of course, but to a marketing team, they want those day one sales. They want those pre-orders. Those are guaranteed buys. So that's something that has kind of led up to this point, and I think it's only going to get worse. And I think the price of games is going to go way up in the next 5 years, way, way, way up. So now we're gonna move on to the upcoming games section. Wow, Donnie, you've been a naughty boy with your pre-ordering, your and your fucking all these people listing their sins in chat. Um, we're gonna move on to the upcoming games section of the podcast here tonight, and that is how I mentioned upcoming games, something I like talking about. I did it a little bit with Battlefield 1. We talking about the game and how I think the game will be and how I think the game will do on Twitch, more importantly, is what I like talking about. So the first game we're going to be talking about is Civ 6. This game's coming out soon. It's October 21st is when it's going to be coming out, and it's October 20th. So tomorrow, actually. So, you get a quick drink. I buy games that have content. Yeah, I feel you. So Civ 6. Civ 6. I'm actually kind of excited for this game. It's just really unfortunate timing when it's coming out. It was a debate over Civ 6 or Battlefield 1, and Battlefield 1 pretty handedly for me, because from an entertainment point of view, unless you love games like this, which I know a lot of people do, from an entertainment standpoint, for me personally, and as a streamer and a content creator on YouTube, I went with this game. So it was kind of a win-win. I think personal enjoyment I would have enjoyed this game a lot. I'm not a huge fan of these turn-based strategy games, or like four times games. But if y'all donate $10, don't give me fucking money. I'm not a huge fan of games like this. I not that I don't like them, but I'm just not very good at them. Is this the problem? So it's kind of like, I went with Battlefield 1, and I think a lot of people did too, and that's why. And it's getting positive reviews, right? A lot of people are loving it. I don't think I've seen any huge criticism over this game. I know there's some criticism because of the pre-order bonus. With the pre-order bonus, I'm pretty sure that you can play the Aztecs early, or like you get to play them, but no one else can for like the first like 9 months or something like that. So yeah. His mouth was telling me no, but his eyes were screaming yes. Don't give me fucking money. So yeah, I think that this game it's a good game. I think that a lot of people, there's some pretty good reviews on it. I mean, if Total Biscuit likes it, it's a good game. So buy this game if you love the Civ games, and if you'd like 4 times strategy games and all that jazz. Well, let's talk about the cool stuff that I care about and how I think it's going to do on Twitch. I think this game would have gotten blown the fuck out by Battlefield. But Battlefield fucked up because they did a staggered release of the game. So I don't think it'll get hit that bad. It's still gonna get blown out, but not blown the fuck out. No reason to curse. But it's still gonna kind of blown out by Battlefield 1. But there are gonna be people on Twitch that stream this game and who have a lot of experience with this game, and they will make this. They will build a really solid community out of this game. I feel like Civ is one of those games that it reminds me kind of playing City Skylines, and people most of the time will help you. There's a lot of experience, in that case, a lot of experience like City Sim Builder players out there who go and watch games like that, and they watch people who are new to it and they're willing to help. And I think Civ is like that. Of course, there's going to be pretentious fucks that don't want to help, and they're just assholes, right? But I think that a vast majority of people that will watch this game are pretty positive people. I don't think that a lot of like young kids watch this game because, to be fair, I just don't think it's an exciting game to watch. You have to kind of know what's going on, and especially if you've missed a lot of what's going on, you're going to not really get what the person's doing unless you've watched a lot of it, because there's a lot of decision making in a game like this. So where's Larry? I don't know. What's up, Eric, and hello, Guggen. So there's a lot of decision making in a game like this, and I feel like if someone's missed like the beginning of Civ, then it'll be kind of confusing to watch it unless you're an experienced Civ player or a 4-time strategy game player. It'll be kind of confusing. So I don't think that this game is going to do extremely well on Twitch. I think on like maybe the first 2 days, you will maybe see it in the top 10 on Twitch. You might even get top 5 at some points or another. If I'm sure like Lyric or Soda Pop or like some big streamer is going to play it for like a few hours and then they're going to get bored of it or something like that. So it's kind of like that. But I think that it will build a community for people who are good at games like this. I can think of a few streamers off the top of my head that would probably benefit from a game like this, because this is marketed towards a certain audience. I don't think they're trying to be anything. They know what they are, right? And I think that we all know that Battlefield 1 is just more exciting than Civ to watch. So it's just gonna kind of get blown out. The first time I played Civ 5, it was a 10-hour session, and I didn't even finish the game. So, yeah, that kind of explains a lot of people's Civ experience, because I guess it's just not quite really for everybody. It's not for everybody, man. It's definitely it's a game that I would want to play. I just don't have a lot of experience in it. So, and I think that I would just get a lot more fun because I play a lot of the games on my stream personally with friends. And I think I would have fun playing this game with friends as well, but I think I would have more fun playing Battlefield than this game with my friends. That's why I picked Battlefield over Civ. And plus, Battlefield is also a pretty good game. That's Civ. That game's coming out. What day was it? 21st, tomorrow. So buy it if you like games like that. Blah 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 blah. Okay, Xenoverse 2. Now I'm gonna need some help from the chat. I need some help. Cause this game, I've had this game hyped up to me by a certain somebody named Aced, aka Zach, as some people may know him. Is he in the chat? He's not here. Not here. This game is super fucking hyped up to me by a few different people. And this is a lot of people's, like, what a lot of people really enjoyed the first one. A lot of people really enjoyed the first one. So I need some help. I need some help on this one, because I think that this game has a lot of I think this game has a lot of potential on Twitch. I fucking hate Xenoverse. Next question. I think this game has a lot of potential on Twitch because this game is fucking hype. It's super cool. It's Dragon Ball, and I have this pre-ordered on PS4. See, Nathan, I think, is one of the people that would like this game. I really wish Ace was here. I was kind of banking on him being here because he was hyping up this game for me super hard, and I'm kind of disappointed he's not here to talk about it. So I think this game will probably. I don't know much about Dragon Ball. I just want to talk about it on Twitch. I think this game on Twitch might actually surprise a lot of people because games like this, I don't know what it is. They're kind of out there, right? Games that are kind of out there that you don't expect to be huge on Twitch sometimes do because you see me talking, you hear me talking a lot about like Lyric and stuff. Lyric or like Soda Poppin or someone's gonna play this game and it's gonna blow it up on Twitch because it's a really fun game from what I've watched. I've never played it. It's a really fun game from what I've watched, and it's super hype. And chat loves games like this. Chat loves freaking out for games like this, and like look at this shit. Like this game's gonna be hype, right? There's no one doubting that this game's gonna be hype as fuck. So I think that this game's gonna surprise. I don't think it's gonna last much longer on Twitch in the top 10 or 12 on Twitch for more than like 2 or 3 days. But I think it's gonna be one of those games that it kind of has like a phenomenon when like a big streamer plays a big game or a game like this, even like maybe a month after it comes out, when there's no huge hype around it, a lot of people kind of get attracted to it. So that's kind of like, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's games like this. Like I saw somebody playing Bleach. It was the Bleach games, and it was like kind of similar to this, where it's like super hype, like anime, super weeb shit. You know what I mean? And it was just so hype in the chat, like it just accumulated, and the person was like front page, and that's what's gonna happen to this game, man. I think it's gonna surprise. I think it's gonna surprise a lot of people. But I also, if you're a new streamer, I think this game's gonna be pretty good to play as well, because, and especially if you love games like this. Did I say Bleach? I didn't mean to say Bleach. What was the game? What's the game where the One Piece? Sorry, One Piece is a One Piece game. I'm not a big anime guy. It was the One Piece games? Yeah. So the One Piece games, people like there's a few big streamers that play that and it goes pretty big on Twitch. Yeah, Google got it. And so I think that this game's pretty good for new streamers though, because it won't be that big on Twitch. There'll be a few big people that play it, but they won't play it for super long. But there will be a lot of people who enjoy games like this, like a lot of hardcore Dragon Ball Z fans, a lot of hardcore like Japanese style fighting game fans that'll want to stream this game. And there's an audience for that on Twitch that isn't really tapped, in my opinion, at least not too well. There's a few streamers that focus around games like this, but I think that this would be good that someone would probably get a lot of viewers and a lot of followers if they played a game like this. So that's all I'm going to talk about for Dragon Ball Xenoverse, because I just kind of wanted to talk about it because I think that this game will surprise, and I think that you'll see this game pop up a lot throughout the rest of the year and possibly into the next year, because it's just one of those fucking weeb games, man, that when someone plays it, especially a big streamer, they get a lot more viewers than when they normally do, because the chat just freaks out. They freak out and they get super fucking hype, and it's crazy, and I love watching it. But I'm not weebs. Weebs go to hell. No, weebs don't go to hell. Weebs are great people. And then finally, we might do a little questions. If you guys have anything you want me to talk about, please put it into chat now, and I'll try and go back and find it. So if you have any links or topics, put it in the chat, because this is a final game that we're going to be talking about, and that is Titanfall 2. Guys, I really hope I'm wrong about Titanfall. I really, guys, I'm 20 years old, I promise, but I just don't want to. Okay. I really hope I'm wrong about Titanfall, but I don't think it's going. Personally, this is my opinion. I don't think it's going to be that good. Nintendo's. Oh, that's true. I have not talked about it. I have not talked about that. We'll talk about that later. Um, I do not think that this game is going to be that good. Watching this gameplay, it reminds me of Call of Duty when they first went like, and this is such a bad comparison because I know Titanfall people hate this comparison, but it reminds me of Call of Duty when they first started going futuristic. And I really hope that it isn't like that. But like I just have a really bad taste in my mouth when I see future soldiers with jetpacks. And I don't know what, and I've followed the game relatively decently. I don't know what they've done differently to the Titans that would make that an interesting like gameplay mechanic again. Because I played Titanfall 1 and I was one of those people that was I enjoyed it for the first like 20 hours. And after 20 hours, I was just done. You know, like I was just done and I don't see what they're doing differently. They've talked a lot about the story for this game and and that's cool. You know, you have a cool story mode. Like the robots have personalities. That's neat. You know, that's pretty fucking cool, man. But that won't carry your game, especially not on Twitch. I really don't think this game is gonna do well, and I hope it does. I really hope it does well because I think it's cool, but they just keep fucking it up, man. They just keep fucking it up. And so, and that's my personal opinion. They actually need to have content for the game, and that's what was wrong with Titanfall 1. So, my prediction for how it's going to do on Twitch is it's going to be just like any other FPS game that's coming out. If they exceed expectations, I think that it could be a like front page contender for like 3 weeks. But that's it. I don't think that it could push beyond that. I think that Battlefield 1 and this game will probably be on the front page about the same time. But I feel like, and here's the problem, I feel like they'll be on the front page about the same time, but I think Battlefield 1 will still do better than it in the long run. But that's just based off of my gut feeling that I think that this game isn't going to be that good. That's just my gut feeling, but I just don't think this game is going to be that good. And so on Twitch, some people might make a community off of it. I wouldn't bank on this game as being your mainstream game if you were thinking about it. I would probably test the waters a little bit, play it consistently for like, I'm talking like a month, you know, play it consistently for like a month, keep a close eye on the viewers, and see if things have kind of dropped off, especially content and updates wise, because that was the big problem with Titanfall 1, like I said. And I'm pretty sure they're going to learn from their mistakes. I really hope they do learn from their mistakes and they do consistently add content and the multiplayer isn't boring. Because, or going back a little bit, Titanfall 1, it was fun to play, but the gimmick got old. I was thinking of the way to put it, but the gimmick got old. The mechs got old, and it was just another FPS game when I think Call of Duty was even a little bit more fun to play, because at certain points mechs just got annoying. And I'm actually going to retract on how long I think this is going to be on the front page. I think that it's only going to be on the front page for like a week or two, maybe. I don't think it's going to be on the front page for much longer than that. Okay, thanks Windows. Scared the shit out of me. I think it's only gonna be now. I'm thinking on it more and more, and I don't know what it is. I just don't think this game is gonna do well, and I don't really have much more else to say. I think like 1 or 2 weeks, the 1 week stamp. I think like 1 or 2 weeks because it's probably gonna have like a fucking 5-10 hour single player, right? And I just don't see this carrying like. I don't see it, man. I really don't. I don't, man. I'm sorry. I have to be cynical on this game. I think it deserves it, but that's it. That's it for Titanfall, man. Don't try and base your stream off of that game. At least not yet. Play it for like a fucking month, and after a month, you're still having fun with the game, and they're announcing new stuff. I think that I actually learned this in economics, and this is talking about new technologies. It's not talking about games, but new technologies is what keeps people interested. Um, and that's what keeps people buying products. And for example, in a game, new updates is what keeps a game going, right? RuneScape is a perfect example of this game. Titanfall, true to its name, gonna fall into the gaming hell, gaming depths of hell. I think RuneScape is a perfect example of this game. RuneScape is played a shit ton because it gets updates all the time. There's constantly new things to do. You know, um, games like League, Counter Strike, hell, even StarCraft to a certain extent, are constantly updated. New things are happening to the game, so that's what keeps people playing. Same with Call of Duty. Same with Battlefield. Games like that constantly have new things coming to the game because that's what keeps people interested. It brings new life to the game. And I think that's what Titanfall needs to do. If Titanfall's not doing that, it's going to end up the same way it did before. It's going to be dead after like a month. It's going to have the fucking evolve effect where everyone's going to get bored and it's going to become a fucking meme basically. Evolve became a symbol of mediocrity. If your game has what I like to call it, I've called other games this before. I called this to Star Wars Battlefront. If your game has the evolve effect, you're fucked because your game is mediocre. Mediocre, man. And I mean, now I'm just kind of looking through the chat. If anyone, I think someone mentioned the NX, right? Someone mentioned the NX. Or what's it called now? Nintendo Switch. Sorry. The Nintendo Switch. Let's see here. Your game should evolve, unlike the game Evolve. Thank you, Sean. The Switch. The Nintendo Switch. I don't know how much I can talk about this. Because I don't know that much about it. Like, it's pretty. I think. Here's what I do have to say about it. Is there a fucking. Can I get a picture of this? Here, we're just gonna pull up a picture so we don't get fucking sued. We're just gonna pull up a picture so I don't get sued. All right. So this is the Nintendo Switch. I'm honestly. Can we talk? Oh yeah, we can talk about the Dark. I don't know anything about it. Yeah, we can talk about the Dark Souls 3. Um, this is the Nintendo Switch. This is what it looks like. Here's all I have to say about it. I think Nintendo knows, especially in Japan, that mobile gaming is taking over as the lead platform to play video games. It makes I feel like I'm making this up, but I think it's true. Mobile gaming makes more money than traditional games. And that's made up by me right now, but I think it's true. And basically, if you don't know anything about this, watch the video. I'm not going to show it on stream or on YouTube because that's going to get the video taken down because Nintendo blows. But this comes out and these like attached to it on the side, and it's like a little tablet type. Looks like a tablet with like joysticks on the side and buttons. And so and then when you're at home, you put it back in this docking station and it goes up on your TV. But they were really pushing the fact that you could play this anywhere. And I think that I think I would actually be interested in playing this game and playing on this console if they had this. I think they're really pushing mobile platforming, or not platforming games like like Mario, mobile platform games on this, like your Fire Emblem, Pokemon, and other mobile games like phone games and handheld like game consoles. I think they're trying to get these on here because it's like I think Nintendo's like, let's just take the best of both worlds, I guess, and they wanted to put it into a console. Like, I don't know too much about this. All right, this is what I have to. This is what I'm getting from it though, because if you watch the trailer, the whole point of the trailer was focusing on the fact that you can take this anywhere, and then you can also bring it home and put it back into the docking station and play it on your TV. Another interesting point that I want to bring up is the amount of partnerships that Nintendo has for this game. This isn't what I wanted to do. This isn't what I wanted to do. Let me see here. Didn't want to pull this up. This is another article on the what's it called? An X. But there's something, there was a list of companies. Yeah, here it is. This is the list of companies that Nintendo is partnering with. This is huge for Nintendo. Nintendo is a stubborn fucking company. They work with very, very few people when making games. And it's about damn time they got their head out their ass and they started partnering with other people. I was surprised at some of the big names on here. Bethesda, Capcom's pretty big. EA, FromSoft, a FromSoft game on a Nintendo platform. Ooh, that's interesting. I don't know what's going to come out of that. Ubisoft, that's pretty big. Sega, I mean, they got Unity support now, so there's going to be Unity games. You know what I just had an epiphany. What if they just took the fucking Ouya formula and they had like a fucking marketplace where people, or like a Steam type thing. I'm thinking Ouya because Ouya did like Android games, right? They had like the Android marketplace up on there. Like what if people could make a game in Unity for the NX or the whatever the thing is called, the Switch now? What if they made games for the Switch in Unity and they could upload it to the the Unity collaboration like fucking store thing that the Switch has? That seems kind of neat. And if they kind of go about that route, I think a lot of people want to make mobile games and stuff like that. And that's a way of going about it. Let's see if there's anything else in here. Havoc, that's pretty neat. And there's a lot of Japanese companies in this list. THQ? Aren't they? THQ still around? I didn't know THQ was still around. But yeah, a lot of really, really big titles in this. A lot of really, really big names in that list. So that's pretty cool. That's my opinion on it. I think they're just trying to hit the mobile market and the home console market at the same time, and Nintendo's fucking crazy. So they're gonna do something like that. They're going to just fucking combine them both because Nintendo is always doing new shit, which is admirable. Someone else recommended that we talk about the Dark Souls 3 DLC. As I mentioned, I don't know anything about this at all. Let's see. Did it come out already? Let's see here. This is the wiki on it. So this is a trailer for it. Ashes of Ariandel. I think I can talk a bit about this in a Twitch aspect. Here's some of the new stuff that's coming out. Some new locations, the Painted World of Ariandel, 15 new weapons and shields, 4 new armor sets, 4 new spells, some new PvP stuff, and 2 new bosses. Rad. Cool. Dark Souls DLCs are always pretty solid, so that's pretty neat. That's cool. I don't know anything about it, so I'm not going to have any criticisms on it. I think Dark Souls is a great series. If you watched me in the past, you know I've played a lot of Dark Souls. So there you go. That's my opinion on it. I think it's going to be great. What I think it's going to do on Twitch is I think it's going to... Dark Souls always does well on Twitch. Always, always, always does well on Twitch. And so I think that on Twitch, it's going to kind of boost it back up to like the top 12, maybe, well, let's say like top 15. And especially when big streamers play it, of course, it's going to get up there. But I think it's going to kind of like add some more juice to the Twitch community. I don't think anyone's going to build any careers based off of this or anything like that. there's not that much hype around DLCs, especially. But there are people who made a career based off of Dark Souls, which is really fucking cool. Because I mean, if you can do that with Dark Souls, that's pretty rad. Um, but I think that's gonna add some more juice into the community. I think that there'll be speedrunners that are just slaying this game. I think it'll be good for the Dark Souls 3 or just the Dark Souls community in general because most of the time with something like this, and when I say community, also on YouTube, because there's a lot of big Dark Souls YouTubers that they go secret finding and they do all these Easter egg hunts and all these lore videos are going to come out of it, and there's going to be so much story revealed and all that great stuff that comes with Dark Souls and Dark Souls DLCs that it's going to be pretty sick. So yeah, it's going to add some new life into the Dark Souls world, and it's going to add some new life into the Dark Souls community in terms of lore and speedrunners and the really big Dark Souls guys that are out there on Twitch and YouTube. So that is rad. That's what I have to say about the Dark Souls 3 DLC coming out. And I think that's where we are going to end the podcast today. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope I did a good job. I think I had a good time. I think that it ended a little short, right? But it was a nice, clean episode, right? There was no filler. There was no filler in it. There was no bullshit. It was just straight talk. And of course, on more heavy news days, there's going to be more stuff to talk about. And when I have guests on the show, there'll be more to talk about. So that's really cool. Trying to think of anything else I would change. Can't really think of anything else right now. Kind of on the spot. But I think it's cool. I think we had a good first episode. And I'll have to think of some changes. If you have any criticism, tell me. If you know me, put it in the comments on YouTube. I'll also put this on SoundCloud, I think. So we'll go for that as well. And I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys hopefully next week. We'll have another one. If there's no news, then I won't. Hopefully next week I have another one, and we'll have some more news to talk about. Shout outs to Sean, because apparently he wants a shout out. He made the thumbnail for this video on YouTube. Shout out to Ryan, who helped me a lot with this, and he made the overlays for the for going live. And shout out to everyone that watched me. I appreciate it a lot. Thanks for watching, guys. Follow, subscribe, rate 5 stars. Thank you. Goodbye.